In the daytime, my name's Teedy. Just a normal person with a normal life. But there's something about me that no one knows yet, 'cause I have a secret. Alpaca sir, simply demure, gone in a blur when things go wrong. Alpaca sir, the YouTuber, the power of art always so strong. Alpaca sir. Hey guys, it's Alpaca. Welcome back to another Miraculous Ladybug redesign. I'm really excited to tell you guys about the two heroes of Paris we're working on today. If you didn't watch my last Miraculous Ladybug redesign, you should totally check that one out after this. It should be up in the top right corner right now. When I did my original poll for my first video, Luka actually tied with Hornet, so it's only natural I work on him next. But since I love doing two characters per videos, I thought I'd throw in Adrien as well. He is the other main character after all. These guys will have designs for both their civilian and hero costumes. You guys are getting spoiled with a whopping 4 designs. However, I love the originals. These designs cater more towards my specific interests, I guess. I don't claim that these designs or stories are better by any means. I'm a singular person versus a whole team of designers with years of experience. I'm doing this for the fun of it and to show my love-hate relationship with the show. I've been so incredibly busy with working 2 jobs as well as being in a musical, but I want to thank you all so much for being here. 17k and still going strong. If you want to support me, please consider subscribing. Look, the button is sparkling. Also, check out my Adrien commissions if you want your very own art by moi. Alright, enough chit-chatting. Let's get on to designs. So, first up, we have the deuterogonist of the series. Adrien Agrest, the holder of the Cat Miraculous. For this redesign, I mainly wanted to focus on the contrast between Adrien and Cat Noir, as well as changing the power scaling for the main 2 heroes as they resolve with Kumas. This is going to go against a bunch of the canon, so let's try this. Do you know what else you should try? Unveil, the sponsor for today's video. Unveil is perfect if you're looking for a platform to show off your characters, discover and connect with other creators, or just want to admire the multitude of worlds and OCs people have made. My favorite part is the customizability of the character pages. When uploading my own characters, I was given the option to expand on not only their backstory and personality, but also their world. Unveil's world lets you compile your characters into their separate universes, which you can now collaborate with hundreds of other people. Speaking of the pages, why not spice them up? Link your Spotify playlist, go in depth with their lore, or customize their pages with different styles, colors, and gradients. Want inspiration, or do you just want to see what others have created? You can use the newly revamped Explore and Search system to navigate through the creations made from over 250,000 creatives. There's so much to check out, but worry not, even with so many people, Unveil is 100% AI free, so you can scroll freely knowing that you're only supporting real art and writing. Want to support Unveil? Sign up for the waitlist for the brand new Unveil mobile app coming soon. The link is in the description. And with that, let's get back to the video. Despite the fact that Ladybug and Cat Noir are supposed to be equals, at least miraculous power scaling wise, Ladybug has to be more important so the lives of Adrien and Hornet contrast with their superhero counterparts. But I believe this should be less to do with their actual strength and more about the social stigmas. For example, Ladybug has all these abilities to help save the day, whereas Cat Noir only has Cataclysm, which is a fantastic power, but still. So how do I keep a similar dynamic while also allowing them to be equally useful? The Cat and Ladybug Miraculous need to be yin and yang to each other. They'll need each other to balance these strengths and weaknesses. Originally, Ladybug could do every step to de-evilize the Akuma. However, in this version, Cat Noir has to be the one that does the de-evilizing. It makes more sense for Cat Noir to have both Cataclysm and the ability to destroy the bonds, rather than whatever Ladybug does. This means Ladybug has Lucky Charm and the ability to fix the chaos and conflict, while Cat Noir has Cataclysm and his de-evilizing ability. Strength-wise, they are on par. However, the public see Cat Noir wreaking havoc, destroying a multitude of things, while Ladybug is viewed as a savior by fixing the city every time there's an issue. This dynamic is why Ladybug is praised while Cat Noir is shunned. Well, not shunned, so to say, but ignored. Or he's reduced to being a nuisance of a sidekick in the eyes of the public. And he kind of likes it. I want to explain the differences between Adrien and Cat Noir. I still haven't decided what the setting is going to be, besides Paris. They don't have a concrete age at this point, so things may change as I solidify the idea. The message behind will remain basically the same as the finer details are decided. His backstory is very similar to canon, where he grew up homeschooled and a model his whole life. However, he is significantly more famous than he is in the original series. In the beginning of the story, Adrien is socially awkward, easily overwhelmed, and yet he yearns for some normalcy in his life. After living his entire childhood in the spotlight, he convinces his father to enroll him into a to-be-decided public school and take a break from his career. After a mortifying first day of class, Adrien realized how much his popularity was going to affect his chance at a normal life. He realizes how everyone will be watching his every move. This freaked him out and he was going to seclude again. That is, until he obtained the Cat Miraculous. Cat Noir allowed him to be the person he always wanted to be. He didn't need to be perfect to save Paris. He was able to be free, confident, and, most importantly, himself. Despite how strange it all came about, being a hero allowed him to feel normal, allowed him to express himself without the pressure of his celebrity status. Cat Noir being seen in a worse light to Ladybug was perfect. It meant he could focus on saving Paris without the extra pressure that Ladybug was expected to uphold. Not that he'd ever let her suffer alone if he could help it. Adrien learned more about himself and the world around him in the first few months of being a hero than the entirety of his life. He went from a kid whose life centered around being perfect to a young adult unconcerned about how he is viewed and lives unapologetically. Now, my favorite part to yap about, the design. Look, Adrien's original design is fine, but it doesn't quite fit with the new personality I give him. Not only that, I just wanted his clothes to give him a dorky vibe rather than showing off how he's a mega famous model. I don't normally draw guys, so I may not have conveyed it as well as I intended, but I wanted Adrien to be lean and sculpted. Standard model build, but also have a cute boy next door charm. You can get a better look at his build as Cat Noir. A lot of his appeal as a model is how he can flip between different characteristics depending on what's needed. But in this redesign, he's a little cutie. Layered clothing, muted earthy tones, casual jeans. He wants to be just a guy. One of my favorite parts is his hair. I kept his bright fluffy blonde hair as it's such a cute part of him and added a little heart of Hoge. So who would have one of those? Imagine him as a Danganronpa protagonist and that the Hoge will change depending on how he feels because why not? Going from cutie Adrien, I was so excited to work on the Cat Noir design. I'd been doodling ideas on loose pieces of paper at work because of how excited I was to draw him. I love the original Cat Noir design. I believe it's one of the strongest in the original series. However, I've been really wanting to push some of the miraculous animal features a lot more in these designs. To be honest, this design is very similar to the original one, but let's explain anyways. I wanted Cat Noir to give more of a stray cat vibe, just to contrast a bit more with the put together Adrien. His claws, ears, and tail are now a lot more obvious and bigger. I even made the tail belt double loop, as I found it looked more interesting. The once vibrant blonde hair is now dulled and disheveled, and its greeny yellow eyes are replaced with bright green scleras and black eyes. Personally, I love the new look of the suit. I wanted the bottoms of it to flare out, so it kind of made his feet look like paws. Speaking of which, his shoes have a more obvious paw shape to really clue on that he's a cat. It looked a little silly as just a sketch, but I find the color really brings the vision together. The collar around his neck is multi-purpose. 1, it looks like one of those vet cones. 2, it helps hide his face a bit more, secret identity. And 3, it draws more attention to that big bell. I randomly doodled it and I fell in love with the silhouette. Since he's a black cat, I wanted to keep his design pretty monochrome, but since I love color, I couldn't help but add some pops of green through the collar, paw prints on the belt, and the mimic cat scratch on the shoulder. His design was just so much fun to work on. His original design is so iconic, I just hope I did him justice. What's your favorite part of the designs and story? What would you change? I'd love to hear your opinions on the comments. And as much as I love Adrien, someone else has always been my favorite character, as I have a soft spot for more alternative characters. You can ask my friends this and they will agree. So let's finally talk about my favorite character. Next up, we have Luka the holder of the Snake Miraculous. Low-key, most of my information for Luka is in his design because there are so many elements I wanted to include. That doesn't mean I left the story alone, no. Luka is a nice guy. Not a nice guy, but an overall great dude. He's family-oriented, he cares deeply about those around him, even strangers, and he's the guy to go to whenever you need advice about anything. Growing up, his parents were always working. His father made a few too many mistakes before achieving rock star status, and his family had to pay the price to keep them afloat. From a young age, Luka took it upon himself to look after himself and his twin sister, Julika. He bounced between a multitude of jobs, extracurriculars, and looking after the home that he ended up neglecting his school life. So much so, he decided to drop out of school to focus on working. And the cycle began once again. Despite his best intentions, he spends so much of his time working as his parents did to give his sister the life she deserves. His whole family are a bunch of workaholics and he's no exception. He joined so many clubs, worked too many long nights, and exhausted himself every day to please everyone. He lost sight of his original goal, being there for his sister. Miraculouses are the ultimate form of self-reflection for the heroes. It shows them what they truly want in life. Viperion's ultimate goal was to be able to help everyone. When he first obtained the Snake Miraculous, he thought being able to use second chance to ensure everyone could be happy seemed perfect. That was until he discovered how no matter how many times he rewinded, something always went wrong. It was a nightmare. He'd spread himself so thin in that short space of time that he couldn't keep up with everything and his second chance ran out. When he tried to help everyone, he couldn't save anyone. He realized he needed to work on his prioritization. Yes, he wants to save everyone, but sometimes you need to take a step back and realize what you can actually control. It was a lesson that he used in his everyday life. He focused on prioritizing the things he truly cared for. He ultimately decided to stick with pursuing his music, close friends, and of course, looking after Julika. That's not to say that he gave up on everyone else, it just meant he finally took the time to help himself, rather than people-pleasing himself to exhaustion. I've always loved drawing more alternative designs. I find the sub-styles a lot more freeing and expressive than your quote-unquote basic outfits. There's so much to work with, layers, fun patterns, etc, etc. That's why Luka was so exciting. He's just the perfect candidate for me to dress up. His outfit could be considered a little plain, I mean it's just a singlet and jeans, but there's much more to it, I swear. Take the whole design into consideration. The ripped jeans with the one pant leg design, the baggy off the shoulder hoodie, the slightly cropped singlet that you can't even see with his guitar in the way. It's the vibe, I swear. I was kind of inspired by the way I draw Sebastian from Stardew Valley while redesigning Luka, mainly in the hair and piercing department. I love dyed hair and piercings, okay, let a girlie live. And it's really funny that he has snake bites. But as much as I love the civilian design, I gotta talk about my ideas for Viperion. In theory, it is a very cool design. I love the use of colors and shapes, especially the mask. The mask is so cute. However, I really wanted the design to give off snake. I kept the mask shape as well as gave him fangs. He kinda has a weird ass hairdo, low-key inspired by Wanderer from Genshin Impact. When I was first doodling him, I was thinking of incorporating a hood to mimic the... Oh wow, it's actually called a cobra hood. The hood of a cobra. However, whenever I tried to add the silhouette, it kinda looked phallic. So instead, I added the shape language to his hair and had it flare out for a bit of fun. I even turned his hoge into a snake tongue shape, which matches his shoelaces. I really liked the color blocking on the original Viperion suit, so I mimicked it in my style, trying to make it look more textured, however, so it looks more like scales. It may seem inconvenient, but I love the huge snake tail I added. I imagine he can actually control it to an extent, so it's not a complete hindrance. Finally, you may have noticed he has a flute. I swapped his and Rena Rouge's weapon because of the classic snake charming flute, no other reason. Which of the boys would you choose? What aesthetic do you think Luka fits into? I really want to draw these guys again in the future, so any headcanon and ideas would be so fun. With that all out of the way, let's have a look at the final designs. Thank you all so much for watching the video. It's been 4 months since I released my last video. I wanted to get this video out way sooner, but I've been insanely busy. Thankfully, my musical is just wrapped up, and over the Christmas holidays, I only have to focus on one job, which means I'll have a lot more time for video making. My next video is going to be the long overdue Tongue and Romper redesign, where I'll finally show off my girlies Celestia and Sakura. Some final shameless promos. Check out my VJing commissions, As I mentioned, I'll only have one job rather than both over the Christmas holiday, so if you want any custom art for your friends and family, consider getting some art from your favorite YouTuber, who is obviously me. I plan to stream these commissions alongside some games every Saturday, 5 PM New Zealand Standard Time, starting from the 29th of November. I'll be streaming both here on YouTube and on Twitch, twitch.tv/likeanalpacasir. I miss you all and I gotta start saying hi more. I want to thank Kipwin, Glitchcrown, and AMK Heart for supporting me through my Coffee and YouTube membership, especially since I've been so MIA recently. Keep an eye out for my community tab, as I have a plan to make a Patreon and have every supporter in one place. I'll also be releasing a poll very soon to talk about my new video. Also, to anyone who popped by my stall at Armageddon over Labor Day weekend, thank you so much for saying hi. I totally forgot to promote it, but the fact that a bunch of you recognized me was actually insane. I forget people watch my videos. Thank you all so much again for watching. If you made it to this point in the video, use a cat or snake emoji to show which way you prefer. Make sure you look after yourselves, eat food, drink water, take your meds, and do your homework so we can be happy and healthy for the next video. See ya!